Right, guys, this is the second video on 1.5 polynomial functions and complex zeros. Here we are given a table of several polynomials. We need to find the degree of the polynomial. So we know that the degree depends on which difference is constant, right? First difference, second difference, third difference, fourth difference. And whichever difference is constant, that is basically the degree of that polynomial, for example. And yeah, by the way, before doing that, make sure that your x values are increasing with the same amount. So in this case, yes, it is increasing by 3. In this case, yes, it is increasing by 2. In this case, obviously, it is increasing by just 1. All right, so what is 7 minus 5? That's 2. 4 minus 7, that's negative 3. Negative 2 minus 4, that's negative 6. This is negative 7, and this is, I think, negative 6. Well, clearly, that's not equal. So second difference is negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. Negative 6 minus minus 3 is negative 3. Negative 7 minus minus 6 is negative 1. Negative 6 minus minus 7 is 1. That's so sad. It's not equal as well. Let's find the third difference. Negative 3 minus minus 5 is 2. Negative 1 minus minus 3 is 2. I think we have a winner. 1 minus minus 1 is 2. Absolutely. Third difference is constant. So third difference means constant. Third difference is constant means the degree is 3. This is a cubic polynomial. So the degree is 3. And we just do it for the other questions as well. Right, 4 minus 3 is 1. So 0, 3 minus 4 is negative 1, 1 minus 3 is negative 2, negative 1 minus 1, negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Second difference is going to be 0 minus 1 is negative 1, negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1, negative 2 minus minus 1 is negative 1, negative 3 minus minus 2 is negative 1. So this is a quadratic, and the degree is 2. Finally, negative 3 minus minus 7 is 4. 1 minus minus 3 is 4. 6 minus 1 is 5. 13 minus 6 is 7, right? Yeah, okay. This is 10. 23 minus 13 is 10. 4 minus 4 is 0. 5 minus 4 is 1. 7 minus 5 is 2, sorry. 10 minus 7 is 3. 1 minus 0 is 1, 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 2 is 1. So yes, this is also a cubic polynomial with a degree of 3. Oh, more questions. This is also incrementing by 2, so no problem. This is incrementing by 4, no problem. This is incrementing by 1. No problem here. Let's find the difference. So 7 minus 12 is negative 5. 2 minus 7 is negative 5. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. Negative 8 minus minus 3 is negative 5. Negative 3 minus minus 8 is negative 5. So nice. Linear with a degree of 1. Okay. Negative 5 minus minus 7 is 2. Negative 7 minus minus 5 is negative 2. Negative 8 minus minus 7 is negative 1. Negative 5 minus minus 8 is 3. 3 minus minus 5 is 8. Okay. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. Negative 1 minus minus 2 is 1. 3 minus minus 1 is 4. 8 minus 3 is 5. And once again, taking a difference, 1 minus minus 4 is 5, 4 minus 1 is 3, 5 minus 4 is 1. That is so sad. Fourth difference, guys, 3 minus 5 is negative 2, and 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Yes, so from the given set of equations, these two are equal. I mean, if you're thinking that what if there are more numbers and they are not equal? That's right, but we don't know that, right? We'll just consider what is given to us as the final set, probably final set of numbers, and if these two are equal, then we'll just consider it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth difference is constant, so this is a quartic equation, quartic polynomial having a degree of 4. Right, 22 minus 40, big numbers, negative 18, I think. I hope I'm right. 20, 30, 40, yeah. 9 minus 22, 22, think negative 13. Yes, no, yeah, yeah. 1 minus 9, negative 8. Negative 2 minus 1, negative 3. 0 minus minus 2 is 2. Running out of space here. Negative 13 minus minus 18 is 5. Negative 8 minus minus 13 is 5. Oh, great. Negative 3 minus minus 8 is 5. 2 minus minus 3 is 5. Okay, thank God. 1, 2, second difference, right? So this is a quadratic polynomial, which means that the degree is 2. Okay, all right, no more questions like that. All right, over here, if g is an odd function that is strictly increasing, I'll explain what the odd function is. And increasing, I think you know that's from our earlier sections, right? 1.1, 1.2. Selected values of g are given. Find the values of the constant a, b, and c. Okay, odd function. There are two things that you should know about an odd function. So the graphical thing, I think I'll explain later. I think that's in 1.5e. I have a video on that, so we'll talk about that over there. But the algebraic way of understanding what odd function is, g of minus x is minus of gx. If we replace basically the x in the gx with minus x, and if this minus is just thrown outside, then this is a property of an odd function. For example, g of minus 2 is basically minus of g2. G of minus 4 is minus of g4, and so on and so forth. This is an odd function, right? So they are saying what is the value of a, b, and c? A is here, and b is here, and then c is here. All right. So I think I can apply the same strategy over here. If you notice carefully, these two values are equal in magnitude and opposite in sign, right? So don't you think these should actually be plus 12 and minus 12? Because if a is minus 12, think about it like this. If a is minus 12, then I will say g of minus 12 is minus 17 as per the numbers that are written over here. And over here, I have I have g of 12 equal to 17, which is absolutely right. That is the odd function, right? If I put a minus sign here, minus should also come here, and that's adding up. That's adding up. So basically, same y values with opposite sign, they should have same x values with opposite signs as well. That's what we conclude. So A is right off the bat, it's negative 12, right? Negative 12. So I'm going to mark that. Okay. For B, I think you can see this one, 11 and negative 11, because same y value with opposite sign, it means that same x value with opposite sign. So B should definitely be 4 over here by that logic. B should be 4 over here. And likewise, here we have same x values with opposite sign. So these should be same but an opposite sign. So what is A plus B, guys? We already have A and B, right? A is negative 12 and B is 4. What is negative 12 plus 4? Negative 8 indeed. So C should be the same number, opposite sign. So negative 8 should become 8. So the value of C is 8 in this case. It was a very good question, I think. It was very conceptual. Okay. Here we're talking about sketching the graph. Okay, all right. So we should know the property. The other property, actually, we have to talk about it now. Only that an odd function is symmetric about origin. What does that mean? Symmetric about origin. What do I mean by that? It means that if x comma y is a point on the function, then negative x, negative y is also a point on the function, right? That's what symmetric about origin means. So how can we graph this all? We don't really have to take all the points. Just take these corner points, For example, take the origin as one point, this one, which is negative 2 comma 2 as the other point, negative 4 comma 2 as the next point, negative 6 comma 6 as the next point, and then just change the sign of x and y both and plot those points as well. So obviously origin will remain at origin. Negative 2, 2 will become 2, negative 2. 2 is over here, right here, 2, and negative 2 is right here. So 2, negative 2 is right here. And negative 4, 2 will become 4, negative 2. 4, negative 2 is 4 is right over here, and negative 2 is still here. So there you go. And then negative 6 comma 6 will become 6 negative 6. So 6 is here, negative 6 is here. And all you need to do is just connect it the same way the original function is connected. For example, with straight lines, right? So we connect this and this with straight line, with straight line, and with straight line. That's about it. That is the graph of that. That's the remaining half of this odd function. Let's do another one with a curve over here. So again, origin will just remain at origin. Now you can take some nice points that are intersecting on the grid. For example, I'll take one point as this, one point as this, one point as this, probably one as this, and probably one as this. All right, let's write the coordinates first. So this guy over here is negative 1 comma negative 1, if I'm not wrong. This guy is negative 3 comma negative 1, negative 3 negative 1. This guy is negative 4. I'm sorry, why am I writing negative 1? That is not correct. That is negative 2. Yes, it's good that I realized it's negative 2. Okay, sorry. This is negative 4, negative 1. Okay, this one is negative 4, negative 1. I'm talking about this one. This guy is once again negative 5, negative 2, and negative 6, and this guy is negative 5. All right, let's switch the signs and mark the points over here. 1, 2. 1, 2 is, there you go. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2 is, there you go. 4, 1, 4, 1, there you go. 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, there you go. And 6, 5, 6, 5, there you go. All right, let's try to maintain the same shape and connect this. So I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna make a loop here, and the loop is somewhere around like negative 2.7 and sort of like that. That is at negative 2, that is for sure. So our loop will be at 2. Probably something like this. Okay. Then it again makes a loop over here and then takes a turn like this, and then it goes all the way to the other point. All right, well, that's the best start that I can do, but I hope you understand it's more about the grid intersection points being matching the nice points that we can just very easily read. And yeah, I think even if you show this in your school, your teacher should be happy with the graph that you have made. You get full points. Right, the same situation, but for the even function. So we should know that an even function is symmetric about y-axis, symmetric about y-axis. What is the meaning of y-axis? It means that if xy is a point, then negative x comma y is also a point over here. If xy is a point, then negative xy is a point. Only change the sign of x, in other words. So what is this point? This point is negative 2 comma negative 3. This point is negative 3 comma 0. This point is negative 4 comma 3. This point is negative 6 comma 3. And at this point will not really change because this is already on y-axis. So y-axis point will just remain on y-axis. So the points will look like starting from here. This will become 2, negative 3. 2, negative 3 is right here. Then this point will become 3, 0. 3, 0 is right here. This point will become 4, 3. 4, 3 is right here. And this point will become 6, 3, which is right here. And just like the previous question, we just connect it with straight lines over here. Oops, that is go here. I think this will go all the way. This is just a single straight line, right? Yeah. And this, okay, looks nice, or at least not bad. All right, let's try the curvy thing. Let's mark the points here. This is negative 6 comma 1, I think. This guy is negative 5 comma 2, 2. And I don't like this point. This is like negative 3. Oh my man. This is negative 3.5, right? About negative 3.5, negative 3.5 comma 0. Then another nice point is this. This is negative 2 comma negative 1, negative 2 comma negative 1. This is another nice point, which is negative 1 comma negative 2. And this point just remains where it is. So, okay. All right, guys, how will it look like? 1, -2, 1, -2, 1, -2, 1, -2. That's where 1, -2 is. 2, -1, 2, -1, 2, -1. There you go. 3.5, 0. 3.5 is here. There you go. And then 5, 2. 5, 2 is right here. And then 6, 1. 6, 1 is right here. Okay, let's retain the shape here. So it will just reflect like this. So it's something like this. It will be concave. It is concave up here, so it has to be concave up here as well. So I will just carefully draw a concave up function like this. Then it just became concave down with a kind of a turn wave over here. So I just made it concave down. Then it became concave up again. This cannot make up its mind, so it is concave up here. And then it just keeps concave up and then slightly turns concave down, right? So kind of like this. Not bad at all. And it is still concave down and just makes a peak over there and goes down. Not bad at all.